I can bring experience, a guy who knows how to get to the quarterback, a guy who's versatile, a guy that can be used anyway, and a guy that can be an asset to this defense and this team overall.
I know. I should have learned my lesson by now, but you know how your man Gotti get. All it takes is for me to see one picture of a player and I'm sold. In this case of Preston Smith, he say he's here because he can go get the quarterback. And Lord knows we need that better than anything. Let's talk about it.
Shout out to Juan Gotti Talking Sports. You know what it is. Shout out Juan Gotti Talking Sports.
The way that we live is not for everybody.
Nah, that ain't it, y'all.
How do you think the rest of Jaden Daniels' career is going to go? If we're, 6, 7 games into Jaden Daniels' career, and he's already milking injuries? Like...
Stop saying my name, you dick riding bastard. I love the way she move it, shake it on me. When she cry for him, and shawty is the winner. You can tell that shawty love again now, she's confident.
Is batter even a word? I don't even know. I probably just made that up. But Preston Smith, he's back here in Washington, and the energy is immaculate. I'm not going to hold you, Slim. I'm going to be honest. When I saw him in that 52, I said, hold on, is that Preston Smith? Or is that Khalil Mack? He looks sweet with 52 on. I ain't gonna lie. He might be looking better than what he had. What he had before? 94, I want to say, just off my memory. Could be wrong. Could have been 98, but 94 is what I think I remember. He looks sweet with 52 on. I ain't gonna hold you, right? But the reality of the situation is this is a much needed signing. I know a lot of people you're going to listen to on here and in the media that covers this team may downplay this signing because it's not somebody that is huge, or it's not somebody that's going to come in and give you maybe double-digit sacks. But for the production or lack thereof that we have been getting out of this pass rushing unit, and then you add on top a Dietrich Wise season-ending injury, this was almost a move that needed to happen. Borderline, dare I say, a necessity. Like, we had to go do something because this pass rush for me has been disappointing. It was a position of concern coming into this season because we didn't have anybody on this roster that we felt could do a lot of things at the pass rush position. Hence to why I felt like Frankie Luvu was going to be used primarily as a pass rusher this year, and that's why he was getting a lot of attention in summer camp, running with the edges. But we haven't quite seen that from Joe Witt in this defense yet. Hopefully that changes. But again, going back to the main point at hand, we needed this signing because we needed to, one, fill a void of an injury, but see if there is somebody that can give us some sort of production. Von Miller, I didn't expect much out of him, right? 36, 37 years old. He's not the same Von Miller that he once was, but he's not truly giving us anything. Had a half a sack on Thursday, but like other than that, bro, like he ain't really giving us much of anything. I think his job is here to really just contain the edge and try to limit outside runs. I don't know if he's truly here to go get the quarterback, even though they said, and he said he's here to rush. I haven't really seen him be successful at that this year so far, and on a consistent basis, that is. And maybe, just maybe, we're using him too much. I don't know. I felt like they said he was going to be here on key passing downs, key third downs, and whatnot. And not that he's playing every down. I don't have the specific number of how many snaps he's playing, but I know I see him quite a bit, and maybe that plays a factor as to why he may take his foot off the gas a little bit on certain plays, because he's like, bro, I'm not about to chase him all the way down the field. I'm here just to rush the passer. So, this is less about Von Miller for me and more about the others, right? Like Javonte Jean-Baptiste, I think the jury's out on him. There was a lot of excitement about him in the summer, but I mean, not really much has translated to the regular season field. With him getting a much more bigger role and opportunity due to injuries, we'll see if he's able to capitalize and do something. I'm not expecting much out of JJB. Jacob Martin, this was the wow factor, or wild card, I should say. This was the X factor of this defense and of this pass rushing unit. We took a chance on a 1-year deal, and we felt like he was the only guy that truly had some athletic bend to him on this defensive line, edge rusher specifically, that could go get the quarterback. And again, it's only week 2, right? We'll see what these guys look like in week 3, week 4, once they get a little bit more familiarity and Joe Witt opens up that playbook a little bit more. Maybe we're able to get better pressure, but I think the reality of our situation, honestly, is we're going to have to lean more on Joe Witt's play calling, because I understand he's a personnel first guy and he wants to run man coverage and he wants to rely on his guys to get the job done. But similar to the secondary, like last year, how we didn't have the dogs to execute his style of play, I somewhat feel that's the case for this pass rushing department. Hence to why you should send 5, you should send 6. It's nothing wrong with running with your front 4. But if you know that they aren't getting any pressure, they aren't getting any type of disruption on the quarterback and his timing, maybe switch things up. I felt like we were just stagnant in our game plan and approach on Thursday against the Packers, which allowed Joe and Love to carve us up. So I think a move like this doesn't necessarily change the trajectory of our season in terms of sack total and pressure. But again, I think it was a move that was much needed given our circumstance. But knowing who we have in that room, I'm more disappointed in our play calling, if anything else. Frankie Luvu needs to be playing like Oos. And right now, a lot of people want to point to his regression as to why he's not playing like number 4 from last year. Again, I put it on coaching. You know you don't have the most talented front 4. So, Oos, use him. He was a Tasmanian devil playing with his hair on fire last year. And now it seems like we're asking him to do some different things that causes him to not play like himself, right? Like, why is Frankie Luvu asked to do stunts? Why is Frankie Luvu asked to do this? Why is Frankie Luvu being asked to just make space so the other guy can come around and have a shot at the quarterback? No, that person that should be getting that shot on the quarterback should be Frankie Luvu. It literally, his job should simply be, go get the quarterback. Whatever you do, go rush and get the quarterback. And occasionally have you following a receiver out the backfield or a tight end across the middle. His job should be simple, man. We don't need to be putting more on his plate, because again, the more on his plate, the less he is to be Frankie. And truthfully be told, that's my X factor for this pass rush, is Frankie Luvu, right? I already had my concerns about this pass rushing unit before the season started. I already told you I didn't feel like this unit was really good anyway. And I felt like the only reason that gave me true confidence that maybe it could be different was the fact that Frankie Luvu was supposed to be being used as a pass rusher more. And again, we have not quite seen that. But hopefully Preston comes in and gives us something that we've been needing. A guy that has veteran leadership, a guy that has the ability to set a physical edge, a guy that has the ability to still get after the quarterback. He's 32, so he's older, but he's not old. And just to give you some information, he was the best remaining pass rusher on the market. Whether you take that as a positive thing or not, but he was the last thing that was notable on the pass rushing market. To come on here with some numbers, I didn't want to just talk your head off, but Washington's pass rushing unit quietly has been better than, at least I'm putting it out to be. It's been average, but it's giving you some type of production through 2 games. We have 4 sacks, so 2 sacks in each game. Our edge rush win rate and how often our defenders are disrupting runs or making plays near the line of scrimmage is decent. We're in the middle of the pack. we're amongst the higher percentage players/units in the win rate department. Washington Edges has something like 37% edge rushing stops win rates against other teams. So it's solid, right? But again, it's not anything that's put you over the top. Now, again, with Preston Smith, like I said, he brings you veteran edge rushing mentality and experience, right? He has a really solid track record. He really hit the ground running in Green Bay after a formidable 3-4 years here in Washington. Career 70 sacks, right? And he has recently played with the Steelers. And in his pro career with the Green Bay, he seemed to really strive when he put his hand in the dirt. So that's another thing too. He is not going to be in Greg Minuski's 3-4 defense. He's going to be in Joe Witt Jr.'s 4-3 defense, which allows him to put his hands in the dirt, and it's going to allow him to be kind of like his own self. So I expect something from him. I'm not going to sit up here and act like I expect crazy production, but a guy that can come in, assist with stopping the run, a guy that can occasionally get pressure on the quarterback, I'm looking forward to it. And I think he'll be thrusted into the starting lineup quite soon, honestly. If not this week, maybe next week for sure. But let me know what you guys think about Preston Smith. He says he's here to go get the quarterback, and I'm here to watch him do it. There you all have it. Let me know what you guys put this video in the comment section down below. As always, being boy Juan Gotti. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel on the road to 12,000 subscribers, because I appreciate if you reach that goal as soon as possible. Thank you so much. Y'all have a blessed one. Stay safe. Be easy out there. Peace.
Never gave up on ballin' like I'm Deshaun, throw the bomb, G. That's IG, my jersey never seen a laundry.